Welcome to Recovering Ready. It's time to talk Versus System 2 PCG. I'm Joseph, and today we are bringing you Death from the 55-card Black Order expansion. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps spread the word about the Versus System 2-player card game. So let's talk Death. Death is one of the weirdest and most unique main characters in the game. Death has two cards, both of which have the Immortal keyword, which means a few things, and she plays a lot differently than most main characters in the game. First, she starts the game with infinite health, which is actually just 8 health, but infinite for flavor purposes. And she starts the game as a 1-1 with no flight and no range. Immortal means she has no level, and she cannot ever be face down. If she would be stunned or hidden, instead, switch her with her other card. Because she can never be face down, this means that she can possibly be attacked several times per turn. Also important to note, Immortal can never be turned off. On her starting side, she has the keyword Death herself, which says Death gets +1/+1 for each character in each KO'd pile, yours and your opponent's. It's important to note that these are not counters, but a static effect. Her starting side also includes the keyword Mistress of the Infinity Well, which says if a player would draw one or more cards, they draw that many, +1 instead. Now this affects all players in the game, so a regular draw phase would net you an extra card, and any abilities like Genius, for example, would also draw you an extra card. Pretty fun. When Death turns over, she still has Immortal and Death herself, but instead of Mistress of the Infinity Well, she gains Cosmic Balance, which says when a player recruits a supporting character, they put -1/-1 counters equal to its defense divided as they choose on enemy supporting characters. So your plan with Death is simple. Get an obnoxiously large KO'd pile early on and make Death huge, while also triggering some neat combo effects. Now let's take a look at some characters. For your 1-cost characters, you're going to want 4 ciphers. Your mulligan condition needs to be Cypher and at least a yellow location. Cypher will let you stack your KO'd pile instantly, giving you much needed survivability in the early game, so that Death doesn't keep taking wounds as you build up your KO'd pile. And Cypher's ability will also net you an extra card per Mistress of the Infinity Well. Pretty cool. Also consider the 1-cost A-Force Wasp. Her Shrink and Flight keywords will let you protect Death in the early game when you need a little bit of breathing room. For 2-cost, here's where things get really fun. The 2-drop Anti-Registration Dagger from the Civil War box is a great tool for Death when she's on her Cosmic Balance side. Any negative counters that your opponent tries to place on your side from recruiting will instantly turn into +1/+1 counters onto Dagger, giving you a beefy ranged attacker in the early game. The 2-drop Mantle Miss Marvel is also a great addition, as her ability to discard any character to alter stats will instantly beef up your KO pile, and give Death some more power. Similarly, the 2-drop Doppelganger from the Maximum Carnage set will give you a mean 2-drop with dodge, and yield Death another buff. And, in the interest of giving Death some survivability, consider the Pro Registration 2-drop loss. Flight and Shrink are annoying to deal with, and could save you some wounds in the early game. Next up, we have the 2-drop Hope Summers from the Marvel Battles box. She's not much by herself, but you can combo her with Cypher to trigger yet another instance of discard and draw, making your KO pile even bigger. She also works very well with another character we will be playing later. We also have Call from the Aliens box, but you never want to recruit her. Instead, discard her per her ability to give Death effectively a +2/+2 each time you do it. Now, the 2-drop Supervillain's Mystique is easily the most fun part of this deck. You may not want to play her on turn 2. Maybe you want to save her for later. But her ability to target your potentially huge Death card for a red gives you another equally powerful attacker for later in the game. And she combos extremely well with our next card, the 4-drop Prowler, who has stealth and can copy a supporting character's main and combat superpowers for a turn by discarding them. Copy Mystique, give Prowler Death stats, and profit. Next up, we have the 4-cost Supergiant. His Mind Games ability is great to stack your KO'd pile even more, and it can sometimes be useful to disrupt your opponent's hand in certain situations. Consider packing an Ultimate Nullifier in the deck as well, which can easily be picked up with his Black Order ability. The 4-cost the Moon Knight from the Defender set is also a great addition, as any character can be used to power him up, giving you more potential buffs for death, and easily giving him +1/+1 counters. Now, for turn 5, we want to roll with Sage from the House of Xbox. Her 10 defense and human supercomputer ability make her a great attacker and blocker. And she pairs extremely well with Hope Summers, who can copy her human supercomputer ability, giving you another strong attacker. Next up, on turn 6, consider Emma Frost from the Marvel Battles box. Like Supergiant, her Mind Games ability will add to the power of your Death's KO'd pile. And on 7, we have one of the big payoffs, Ghost Rider from the Defender's 200 card box. At this point in the game, your KO pile should be massive, and his Penance Stare ability will ensure you get an instant stun on almost any main character sitting across from you. Now, this build doesn't have an 8-drop, but this is a flex spot, so you might consider Elixir to either add to your KO'd pile or recruit from it, Storm to maybe move up their main character and give you 1 extra hit, Silver Surfer to give you a massive blocker in your front row who will likely have 20 or so counters at this point in the game, or a Mega Mutants Jean Grey to steal an annoying character sitting across from you. If you want some extra late game security, drop in Dark Phoenix on turn 9 and call out levels, a safe option for Death as she has no level. For locations, you're going to want at least 4 yellows and 4 reds for Cypher and Mystique. Consider tossing in a couple of School for Gifted youngsters just to give some extra yellows for Cypher and Hope. You'll notice we don't have any plot twists in the deck. Because of the huge range of team affiliations and Death not having a team affiliation, it's tricky to find any good used plot twist that you'll be able to use consistently. Death is either going to get big fast, or she isn't. Find cover isn't going to make much of a difference if her tricks aren't working. And you want as many characters as possible in the deck to fuel Death itself. That said, there are some decent flex options if you want some extra tricks. You're going to be playing enough X-Men characters that Uncanny Defense can be a reliable enough option. Also consider Global Information Network, or possibly the Danger Room, netting you some potential card draw, or Combat Master, respectively. Some things to watch out for when playing Death are cards like Boomerang, or the Nullifier, as well as Dark Phoenix, which can shut off Death herself, and leave Death wide open to multiple attacks. Here are the sets I used to build the deck, which you can of course tune to your preferences. We hope you enjoyed this look into building Death. She's definitely one of my favorite main characters to play, and she's a total blast to run. Give her a try. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know how you would build Death. Until next time, see ya, and let's get nuts.